teachers, and welcome to the tutorial for Island English for Math, Grade 1, Practical Activity 3, Flash. In this video, I'll guide you on how to present the lesson effectively, ensuring that your students are engaged and have an enjoyable learning experience. So here we go. The tutorial will be broken down into two main parts: materials and teaching procedures. First, let's go over the materials. For teachers, there will be a PowerPoint slide and a lesson plan. The student will have their own template in A4 size. Two students will share one package, which includes two worksheets and one card template like this. Those things will be provided by your AO. You are now looking at the signal slide for the second main part, teaching procedure. This is also the first slide of the provided PowerPoint. As you can see here, this is the topic that we are focusing on, addition and subtraction within 10. And during this part, we will cover 4 sections: warm-up, review, practical activity, and the last one is speak up. First, start your lesson with the provided song. In terms of addition and subtraction, we hope that this song relates well to the topic. Remember to sing and dance with your students to engage them and create a positive atmosphere for the rest of the class. However, feel free to use your own warm-up activity if you feel it suits your students better. This part should take around 2 to 3 minutes. Next, we will spend about 10 minutes reviewing the target language. This stage is divided into 2 parts: 2.1 Vocabulary and Structure and 2.2 Practice Task. To review the vocabulary, you should allocate about 4 minutes, making sure to leave enough time for the next part. While 4 minutes might seem short, avoid simply having the students listen and repeat. Start with having them recall previously learned words: plus, minus, and equals. Then, ask the question to check if they remember and understand the structures. Finally, introduce the target language: 2 plus 1 equals 3, and correct their pronunciation and intonation as well. Do the same with the other sentence. Here we have 8 minus 2 equals 6. Alright, we have reviewed the vocabulary and structures, and now we'll move on to the practice task, where the students can apply what they have learned through 5 questions. In this activity, feel free to modify your groupings. This means the students can participate individually or in groups. So let's see how it works. Now you display the operation on the screen. Ask the students to look carefully, solve, and say plus or minus. Then review the correct answer after the students make their choice. And here, at the corner, you can see the instructions. Please follow them to make sure everything runs smoothly. So now, click on the question mark here for the answer. In this question, our answer is plus. The students that have the correct answer the fastest will earn 1 point. Then have the student read the complete sentence. For example, 2 plus 5 equals 7. Be sure to correct the pronunciation and intonation. Don't forget to encourage the students to participate actively and keep track of time. This session should last about 6 minutes. Now, we're gonna move on to the practical activity, Flash. The most important part will take around 15 minutes and cover 3 sections: materials, instructions, and correction. First, let's check the materials to ensure that the students have everything they need before diving into the instructions. And again, your students' material will be provided by your AO. Before moving to the instructions, take a look at the activity setup. The student will work in pairs. In each pair, one student will be student A and the other will be student B. They will share one package of materials, which includes 2 worksheets, and one card template containing 10 yellow cards and 10 blue cards. Next, let's go over the instructions. There are 3 steps, each provided with keywords to help you visualize the entire process. You can go through each step in detail with your students, and afterward, the class will have 10 minutes to complete the activity. For step 1, within 2 minutes, students will carefully remove the cards from the template and divide them into 2 sets, A and B, based on the color. For step 2, the teacher reads out 2 numbers. I'll mention where to find these numbers shortly. The students listen and take the correct number of the cards based on what they hear. The first number is for yellow cards, student A, and the second number is for blue cards, student B. For example, the teacher will say 3 and 2. That means student A had to take 3 yellow cards, and then student B had to take 2 blue cards. In the final step, in each sentence, student A and student B will write down the numbers of the cards in the correct order. Both should write on their own worksheets. For example, if they have 3 yellow cards, they will write 3 in the yellow circle. And then 2 blue cards, they have to write 2 in the blue circle. Finally, they have to add or subtract by themselves. You can get the numbers from either the lesson plan or the next slide. Make sure to prepare your lesson in advance. Alright, now you have 10 minutes to complete the practical activity. If the student can't finish their work within the allotted time, don't worry, you have time to review and correct their work later, or they can also take the worksheet home to complete it. If any students finish early, encourage them to help their classmates. Then, once the students have completed the activity, show the correction slide and ask them to compare their answers with the correct ones. Use this slide to review the target language by helping them read the math operations at the sentences out loud. After this, your students will be ready for the final stage, speak up. The final stage is Speak Up, where the students will practice speaking based on the target language provided in the lesson. Encourage the students to share their work with the class, guiding them to speak confidently and clearly. And that's all for today. Now it's time to tidy up and say goodbye to your students with this goodbye song. If you have any further questions or suggestions, please feel free to contact your AO. This is the tutorial for the Island English for Math practical activity, and I'm Minh Anh from the Academic Specialist team. Thank you for your time and goodbye.